Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. That is to say, all praise to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel, scattered abroad through the four corners of the earth. This your brother Yara Donbar coming back at you with I hope to be another short yet edifying lesson. All right, and the title of this lesson is going to be something along the lines of Christianity will never replace Israel. All right, because it's something that's just been on my spirit heavy, man. This idea of replacement theology that many people push, mainly the Christians, they push it. And actually, I just got the definition pulled up here. I know many people will probably say that, well, ain't no probably about it. Many people will say that Wikipedia isn't a credible source, understandably so. But I'm just grabbing this just to get a bare bones understanding of supersessionism or replacement theology, right? Just as a backdrop to the lesson. But it says supersessionism, also called replacement theology or fulfillment theology, is a Christian theology which describes a theological conviction that the Christian church has superseded the nation of Israel, assuming their role as God's covenanted people, thus asserting that the new covenant they got JC there, has superseded or replaced the Mosaic covenant exclusive to Jews. Supersessionist theology also holds that the universal Christian church has succeeded ancient Israel as God's true Israel, and that Christians have succeeded the ancient Israelites as the people of God. All right, and honestly speaking, man, there's just a lot wrong with this. Just to put it simple, because again, as I said, the title would be the Christian church or Christianity will never replace Israel. All right, it just won't happen, because one of the things that we have to understand when dealing in the scriptures is that the Old Testament, it walks hand in hand with the New Testament. You know, they agree. You know, they it's just that simple. They agree. And that's why this is said here in the book of 1 Corinthians. Let's go ahead and grab it. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And we're going to go here to verse 10. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that ye all speak the same things, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment." Right? And that's very important, man. It's very important because all throughout the Old Testament, we always see that the Lord has not dealt with any other nation except Israel, right? So with that being said, don't the scriptures have to agree? They have to agree, right? And let's prove that real quick. I don't want to just say it. Let's prove it. Let's go to the book of Amos chapter 3. It says, "Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it? Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets." Right? And that's really heavy. That's perfect for this lesson, because these people don't understand it because they are not the Lord's servants. It said that the Lord does nothing but unless he reveals the secrets of his servants, the prophets. Right? And that's why, starting with the apostles and the elders on down, we're actually able to get this understanding and the knowledge from the Holy Scriptures. Right? But again, up here it said that he only dealt with Israel of all the family of the earth. He's only known Israel. And that has to be in agreement, because again, can two walk together except they be agreed? So all of the prophets of the Most High have to be in agreement on this. All right, and we're gonna just pull a few different scriptures that they try to use, and we're gonna go through it and show how is just not the case. And we're gonna show how the Old and the New Testament, they're joined together perfectly, man. They agree. All right. So first, we're gonna go here on the book of First Peter, because this is one that they often try to use. We're gonna go to the First Peter chapter 2 and verse. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just get straight to the point. All right, First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. It said, actually, no, I don't want to start in the middle of a thought. So let's go up a little bit. We'll start here. I'll just read from the top. Forget it. Might as well. First Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore, lying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speaking, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High, and precious. Ye also are lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you, and that's actually proving the point right there. I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, in Zion, right? But continuing on, here in verse 7, it says, unto you therefore which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and the stone of stumbling, and the rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient. Whereunto also they were appointed. And here's the point right here, and this is what they were trying to use. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into the marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now a people of the Most High, which had not attained mercy, but now have attained mercy. And they will try to use this to bring everybody in and to say, oh, see, the church, it's taking over, right? But the thing is, first and foremost, let's see who First Peter was addressed to. So for that, we're going to go to First Peter chapter 1, and we're going to start here at the top. All right. And it says, Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. All right. But let's look here at this word scattered. And it's going to be a very important word here, proving who this is talking to. To the strangers scattered, diaspora.
Strong's G1290. Diaspora.
A scattering or dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. And then, of course, they throw this in here, of the Christians scattered abroad among the Gentiles. But when you go down here, they tell them themselves again, dispersion, specifically and concretely, the converted Israelite residents in Gentile countries, which are scattered abroad, right? And that's why this says this in the book of James, chapter 1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. And when you look at this word scattered here, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing, diaspora.
Strong's G1290. Diaspora.
Right, man. So it's the same thing. So that's just showing you here in First Peter, this is addressed to Israelites. So what we're reading here in First Peter 2 and 9, where it says that these people are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and a peculiar people, this is talking about the Israelites. All right? And we can prove it even further. Reading on in 1 Peter 1, and then we're going to go to verse 2. It says, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Right? Now it says, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father. Who is the elect? Right? Let's prove it. Isaiah 45:4. All right, and we'll start at the top. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him. I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two levy gates, and the gate shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut sunder the bars of iron. I will give thee the treasure of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord Yahweh, which called thee by name, am the God of Israel. Verse 4, which is the point, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west, and that there is none beside me. I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things, right? But here in verse 4, it tells us, Israel mine elect, right? So now we have the understanding who this is talking about because of who it's addressed to in 1 Peter. The strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Right? It's plain to see. But these are the things. This is why it says that the scriptures are dark sayings. It's why it's in parables. Because it's not for everybody to understand and everybody can't get it. That's why I said this is the spirit of truth, which the world could not receive, man. It's just that simple. All right, and that's through one scripture. It's easily debunked right there, you know. But I want to go back here to this because it proved up. Salakia proved up. It brought up the new covenant, saying that the new covenant through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach has superseded or replaced the Mosaic covenant exclusive to the Jews, right? Which it was really the Israelites, not just the Jews or the Judeans, but the Israelites, right? But this is the thing, when they always bring up this new covenant, but never go to the scriptures talking about the new covenant, right? So we're going to do it for them. So let's go here to the book of Hebrews chapter 8. All right. In verse 7, it says, for if that the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. Oh, but wait a minute. Who did it say that this new covenant that they keep trying to run to is with? The house of Israel and the house of Judah, the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. It's point blank, period. And we're going to continue on here. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and I will write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquity will I remember no more. And that he saith, a new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Right? So yeah, okay. This new covenant, even in the New Testament, which they try to run to say, see, in the New Testament, it's all about the church. It's not about Israel. But this is telling you that the new covenant is going to be with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, right? Now, let's go to the precept for it. Where did he get this from? Because again, the Old Testament and the New Testament walk hand in hand. And let's prove it. All right, and for that, we're going to go to the book of Jeremiah 31 and 31. All right, and I did realize that I forgot to go to the Old Testament precepts to back up that 1 Peter 2 and 9 talking about Israel, but we're going to go back to that in a second. All right, so like you for that, but all through the Spirit, man. So yeah, let's read this, and we're going to read the rest of this chapter starting here from Jeremiah 31 and 31. All right. And it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Right? Again, the same thing that we read in Hebrews 8 and 8 in the New Testament. They're walking hand in hand. Right? The house of Israel and the house of Judah. Not the house of Moab, not the house of Ammon, not the house of Edom, not the house of Ham, not the house of Ammon, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It's plain. All right? Continuing on in verse 32, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in that day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. Right? So this is exactly what we read in the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. Now, it goes a little bit more in depth, and it's a direct cut to this whole idea of supersessionism or replacement theology, whatever you want to call it. All right, and let's continue on and read. It says in verse 35, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Okay, so now it's saying that if this idea of supersessionism or Israel being replaced, right, or not being the nation of the Lord anymore, if that was to cease, or it would take that, it's saying that if we see the moon and we see the sun every day, then we understand that Israel is still the people. It's just point blank period, right? Is that now? I can read it again. We'll start here in verse 35 again. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of a moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me forever. So, hey, we're still under the sun. We're still under the moon. We still see it happening every day. So, no, Israel has not departed from being a nation before the Lord. All right, man? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So, this is what those type of doctrines come when people don't understand the scriptures, but it really comes from, again, they don't have the spirit of truth, which the world cannot receive. All right. But before I close this out, I do want to prove that the scriptures walk hand in hand again with that 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. All right. So let's read that again. All right. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into a marvelous light. Right? So let's see who else is called a peculiar people. All right? Let's go here to the book of Deuteronomy, and we'll go to chapter 7 and verse 6. And there's going to be two of these, all right? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And then we understand that the book of Deuteronomy is directed to the Israelites. All right, it says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? That is plain. One more time. one more time, man. Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse. We'll start here at the top. Ye are the children of the Lord Yahweh, your power. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, and the Lord Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. So yeah, man, it's plain. The Old Testament and the New Testament, they walk hand in hand. They agree. So how can one part of the book be about supersessionism and one part of the book be about the people of Israel being the chosen people? They would disagree at that point, right? And again, we read it. Can two walk together except they agree? Right? We read it. I want you all. Let me get that again because I was finna butcher it, boy. I was finna butcher it. Let's get it again. 1 Corinthians 1 and 10, and we're going to end it on this. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. So are we going to sit here and say that the prophets of the Lord weren't even of the same mind and of the same judgment, and they didn't speak the same thing and had divisions? No. All right. Well, we understand that can't be true. All right. So I hope this was an edifying lesson. Until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.